we all just get along? Don't you love that saying? I love it. Well, America, in tonight's Can We All Just Get Along segment, we're talking about the president. President Trump's embrace of white supremacists and white nationalists have left a vacuum open in American politics. In the past, white supremacist candidates have been quickly condemned by establishment Republicans. But this year, things look a little different. There are at least 3 white supremacists currently running for Congress, and a 4th running for the State House. Let's dive in and take a look at these 4 races. One we've already covered on the show. His name is Arthur Jones, who this week just won his Republican primary to seek the Illinois 3rd District congressional seat. Now, Arthur is a lifelong neo-Nazi.
I was candidate just recently for Congress in the 3rd Congressional District of Illinois. I was campaigning on the issues that I think most white people, and for that matter, most Americans feel very strongly about, and into affirmative action, to special rights for non-whites, to put the gays back in the closets.
And his campaign website includes a document called The Holocaust Racket, which describes a well-documented genocide of the 6 million Jews by German Nazis during World War II as the biggest black lie in history. Jones told the Sun-Times in Chicago that he is a former leader of the American Nazi Party. Last year, he spoke in Kentucky at a gathering of a National Socialist Movement, a prominent neo-Nazi group. He also did an interview with Alison Camerata on CNN, where she basically asked him if he was a white supremacist, and he was like, yeah, pretty much. And now, America, he will carry the Republican flag, the Republican banner. He will be part of the grand old party quest to maintain the congressional majority in the United States House of Representatives, running in the Illinois 3rd District. So there's a couple pieces to this, right? Number 1, he ran. Number 2, the Republican voters in the 3rd District of Illinois voted for him. So remember, to be a white supremacist is one thing, but then have people vote for you, that means they literally voted for and codified your white supremacy. So you have Arthur Jones, Illinois 3rd District, white supremacist, number 1, won his Republican primary, now seeking to be the next congressperson from the Illinois 3rd District, white supremacist. Then you have Paul Nehlen. Paul Nehlen is running against House Speaker Paul Ryan. Nehlen has grown bolder in his bigotry since the start of 2018, particularly towards Jewish people. On Twitter, he posted a list of what he said were Jewish journalists from media outlets that he had criticized. He was on the David Duke podcast, where he described how Jews control the media and how we must stop that. So he's running against Paul Ryan. Here's the truth about this guy. In all likelihood, he will likely lose his primary. But then again, you never know. We've seen crazier things happen in the Republican Party. Remember when they nominated a witch? Yeah, you remember that, right? So it's possible. So he's running against Paul Ryan, and we know, thanks to the Cook Report, that Paul Ryan's congressional district went from being a safe Republican seat to a likely Republican, meaning this is a very competitive seat. Now, it'll be interesting to see the Speaker of the House lose his primary election, which likely probably won't happen. But if it does, the Speaker of the House will lose his primary election to a white supremacist and a Nazi, somebody who hates Jewish people. Moving on. Then you have Sean Donahue. Sean Donahue is running to replace Representative Lou Bartlett in Pennsylvania. His campaign website expresses dismay that white people are becoming a minority in the United States and claims that Black Lives Matter and Antifa are preparing an armed insurgency. So let's start. I mean, where do you start with this one? So yes, Black Lives Matter, who President Trump and others have called a terrorist group, which they're not terrorists. They're peaceful protesters. Every time, this gets me really pissed off. I know I'm getting ready to go on a tangent, and my producers are really going to get ready to go crazy. But every time that black people protest, somehow these white supremacists have a problem with it. So when we sat, they complained. We can't sit. When we marched, they said, oh, you can't march because your marching is racist, and they found this one clip of pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon, one clip, 2 seconds that they play on repeat, and they say, look, they're all racist, and they're all part of a terrorist organization targeting police. So then we have die-ins. So when we lay down, they have a problem with us laying down. So my question is this to the white supremacists out there, to any of these 4 individuals. How would you like for us to use our First Amendment? Like, tell us so we know, so you guys won't complain when we do it. Because you say that we got to be peaceful and march. When we march peacefully, we get called terrorists, right? When we lay down and do die-ins, you say we are blocking traffic and we're obstructing the road and we're causing havoc. So you, white supremacists, please explain to us and tell me how I should express my First Amendment right so I know how not to upset you. Because no matter what I do within my First Amendment right, you guys find some way to be upset. Black Lives Matter, purely peaceful organization, all across the country, demanding to answer to the simple question, do black lives really matter? And you conservatives and you white supremacists call them a terrorist organization, you call them evil, you call them anti-police. We're not anti-police. I'm not anti-police. I love the police. What I don't like is police brutality. Okay? Anyway, they're yelling at me. You see behind the camera. They're like getting ready to throw things at me. Anyway, back to Sean Donahue. So he also defended his association with David Duke, whom he had as a guest on his online talk show. Last year, he was convicted of making a terrorist threat against a local district attorney, but he, my friend, is running for Congress. And the Republican Party mum's the word. You don't see Paul Ryan or what's her name, Ronna Romney out here saying, no, these people don't represent us. And what makes it so crazy is that there's this whole big controversy about wanting Democrats to distance ourselves and black Democrats to distance ourselves from Louis Farrakhan. Oh, you got to condemn Louis Farrakhan. He's a racist. You got to condemn him. You got to send him to the wolves. Send Louis Farrakhan packing. So my question is this: where's y'all's condemnation of Arthur Jones? Where's your condemnation of Paul Newland? Where's your condemnation of Sean Donahue? I'm still waiting for it. I haven't heard it. Haven't heard it. Haven't heard it at all. Moving on. You have one more of these white supremacists left. John Abar from Montana. Abar is a white supremacist who grabbed national headlines in 2014 for confusingly wanting to recruit black and LGBTQ people to the KKK. Oh, Lord Jesus, there's a fire. He's running for Montana's State House of Representatives as a Democrat. Abar has run for office before as a Republican, and he is currently campaigning on his website. His current campaign includes an apology to the citizens of Montana for promoting bigotry and hatred against minorities, but says elsewhere on his site that one of his platforms, America, I wish I was making this shit up. I really do. His platform is pride and dignity for whites. So, good old Johnny boy. Where'd your pride and dignity go? Who stole it from you? Because you can't say that the black people stole it from you because, no, that's not going to work for you. And you can't really say that Hispanics stole it from you because you guys, under President Trump and under your good cousin, Jeff Sessions, have done everything in your power to take the dignity away from Hispanic people and from Latinos and Latinas, because you have basically put them under this big, you've taken the Kate Steinle case, which was one case with one madman who shot that poor little girl. And you have made Kate Steinle and that individual, that man, you've made him the poster child for every single undocumented worker in this country. Not only is that unfair, but that's downright evil, because you know, as well as I know, that 99.99999 repeating percent of undocumented workers come to this country and want nothing more than to pursue the American dream. Some of them probably clean your house. Some of them take care of your kids after school. But yet still, you guys, and President Trump in particular, because some of them work at many of your little resorts, including Mar-a-Lago, where there's a whole bunch of undocumented workers working. Okay? But you guys have, even though you benefit from the labor of undocumented individuals, you have chose to demagogue them to make yourself feel better, to make yourself feel that you, to make your white supremacy more supreme. Okay? So miss me with this whole crap of, oh, we need to have pride in America and pride and dignity for whites, because that's bullshit at its finest order. And I know I'm probably making many FCC violations right now, but they'll edit it out, right? Because here's the truth. America wouldn't be America if it weren't for black and brown people working their asses off. If it wasn't for API people laying the rail lines that our trains currently drive on today. So miss me with your pride and dignity for whites. And miss me with your false sense and fake notions of patriotism. Because let me tell you something. Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King, Bayard Rustin, and that list goes on and on. You could add to that list so many others. Cesar Chavez. And there's more people to add to that list. They are American heroes. They are the reasons why we should be patriotic, because they used our Constitution and the powers given to the people in our Constitution to stand up and to fight for more rights and to fight for a more inclusive society, while you all over there, sourpuss-faced, continued to have it your way and only your way, and be less inclusive and less diverse and more white and more supreme. It's really disgusting. Your white supremacy, what you fail to realize is the only reason why you can be a white supremacist is because black and brown people made America the country that it is today, so you could go around and act like a crazy-ass white supremacist.